You have to understand that like in the real early days of like a project, everything looks terrible. You're staring at some cubes flying around rather than spaceships, and you're staring at an actual just a sphere rather than a planet and stuff like that. And it's really hard to visualize the game ever coming together, especially when it's a really ambitious game. So the music kind of helped with that. It helped you kind of, you know, use your imagination or whatever, or just stop focusing so much on the fact that it's just a load of red cubes.
It was almost like being pitched an unmade film by a director, because he was like, oh, imagine you're on a planet and then you fly through the stratosphere into space, and then you're in a dogfight, and then you choose another planet to go to, and then you get there, and then you go swimming underwater. And he sort of laid it all out like that, with some really early pictures of what they were envisaging. So we were just like, oh, you should let us write all the music for this. And I think that was something they hadn't imagined asking us, and so we just sort of forced ourselves on them. And I think Sean was a big 65 fan.
When we were in the real early stages of No Man's Sky, and I was kind of writing just little bits and pieces, summaries of what the game would be or what it might be, I would listen to like some of their earlier stuff, and it sounds cheesy to say that and it sounds made up, but that's just kind of the way it happened. When I was first talking to the guys about the game, and actually there was 4 of us in the room downstairs that kind of broke away from the rest of the team, and we kind of sat in there prototyping No Man's Sky. Every Friday we would do a review. I would put on a playlist basically that was a playlist just of like 65 dance tracks that kind of gave the mood of the game, to the extent that we would have them blaring, and everyone on the rest of the guys on the team, what? Here they go again with that same playlist. They knew it by heart. They were like, oh, these songs again. Why do you guys listen to that every Friday?
Without being like flamboyantly arrogant, I think we thought that we were capable for like the past 10 years, had sort of led us to this project. It seemed serendipitous really that this project had come along, because it seemed very suited to what we were trying to do. You know, we knew Sean liked the music that we wrote. I think what Sean responds to is the intensity of the music and the relentlessness. We're always more interested in making a piece of music at least half able to express some inarticulate emotion than we are trying to remain sort of cool. And like, we're not a very cool band in that sense, but we are willing to make quite extreme, relentless music. I think that's what Sean responds to and what he heard on the game. Procedural soundtracking, of course, is not so obvious, and is something that's developing now. So we've mainly been excited, and actually the process of writing the music has been mainly exciting. There's been a couple of really scary moments, quite stressful, high pressure moments where we hadn't finished things or we needed ways to do things, but for the most part we've been in this room for like 8 months, 9 months making the music, and it's been really enjoyable. Knowing there was going to be an album was sort of fine, because everything else was more exciting. The fact that this music would then, these sort of 5 or 6 minute arrangements would explode into 600 million years of non-specific ambient noise, that's really exciting. So one way of thinking about it is, you know, in 10 years, maybe even 10 months, there will be games doing procedurally generated music, and in 20 years there'll be game systems and games and stuff that we can't even imagine now, and in 100 years we'll be dead and gone, and all this will be part of a sort of much greater narrative of human movement. It's best not to have too much anxiety about how this game's going to be seen. It's more seeing it as part of this journey.
It's such a cool thing for me. It's weird. Now they're doing an album, which they're recording, which is like, you know, their next album, and it will be No Man's Sky, the album. And I don't think how amazing it is has soaked in. It's like I get to listen to my favorite band, and it's new stuff from them, and it's to go on a game that we're making, and yeah, it's like the world has become a really strange place when that's happening.